Hello, everyone. It's Shane Conto, your Wasteland reviewer, and welcome to the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network. And this is my weekly show where myself, and mostly with a guest, play some movie roulette and look at my 8,500 movie watch list, randomly pick something. It could be absolutely anything. And, hopefully you have a movie to check out by the end of this episode. And joining me for this episode is my wife, Jess. Jess, thank you so much for coming on.
Happy to be here, Shane.
As we did just randomly select a movie to watch last night, and that was The Sword of Doom. And this film, through his unconscionable actions against others, a sociopath samurai builds a trail of vendettas that follow him closely. And this film is from 1966. It was released February 25th. This is a 2-hour film directed by Hihachi Komodo, written by Shinobu Hashimoto, starring Tatsuya Nakadai, who plays our sociopathic samurai, and it features Japanese screen legend Toshiro Mifune.
Oh yeah, we love a Mifune sighting.
So this is based on a series of novels by Kaizan Nakazato, released in 1913. It's previously released in multiple different ways, starting in 1935 in a two-part film by Hiroshi Inagaki, and then released three other times before this one. So back in 1953 in a three-part film by Kunio Watanabe, a three-part film from 1957 to 1959 from Tomu Uchida, and a three-part series from 1960 to 1961 by Kenji Mitsumi and Kazuo Mori. And this was supposedly forced upon director Hachi Akamoto by this Toho studio. He did not want to do this, but after his previous film did not do so well, they're like, you're going to do this. And this was according to some film critic of the time, and who didn't seem to have very kind things to say about this movie.
Oh,
But I think that person is wrong because I thought this was a pretty awesome film. But Jess, what were your general thoughts on The Sword of Doom?
yeah, I didn't get from it that he didn't want to do it and hated the source material or whatever, was given it as a punishment. I thought it was really interesting. That guy definitely, the main actor definitely mastered the dead behind the eyes look.
Yes.
That's about the only face and mild concern.
Nakarai had
That's what we want though.
a very intense, soulless kind of stare throughout most of the film, in terms of like, if you came across this guy, you would not want to go anywhere near him because it was pretty unnerving to look at through all of these different situations. His expression never really changes a whole
No.
lot. And it's kind of unnerving in that way, whether he's, killing an old man at the beginning of the
Or
film,
Oji-san
raping a woman, and then
off
killing,
camera.
yes, killing her husband in a what was supposed to be just a like a
Like an exhibition match,
an
right?
exhibition non-violent duel, and then a whole bunch of other stuff that this guy does, and none of it. You just have Nakadai just bringing this intensity and unnerving kind of presentation. It definitely feels very Anton Chigurh
Mm,
kind of level of,
yeah. Don't give a shit.
there's a less personality in this performance. This is just straight up just
Yeah.
like this guy looks like I would not want to mess with him if I came anywhere near him. But that's our protagonist in this film. Uh
Anti-hero, if you will.
Suke, and you're just kind of with him throughout this whole entire experience and struggling to like deal with the fact that we're just going along this ride with
Mm.
him. Like,
Yeah, you don't really like him. There's not much to like.
no, it's very much a tale of, well, we're going to see this man do all these horrible things and then it come back to bite him. because there is a manifestation after a while of all these horrible things that he's done that start to haunt him, and it's kind of that approach and story that you're going to
Mm.
get out of this, because this isn't like a hero's journey. This is like dude did some bad
These are
things,
the
and
consequences of thine own actions.
exactly, and it's incredibly shot. Akamoto does such a great job directing this film, and you just see through so many of the quote unquote like action sequences. Hiroshi Murai is the cinematographer of the film, and you just see like one particular scene where you have that supposed non-violent exposition and just the building attention, the building
Mm.
attention. There's no music going on, and it's just like it's kind of shot like the climax of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly,
Mm.
as
Mm-hmm.
it's a montage of shots of like their feet moving, and then like
Hairy leg,
yeah, a medium shot to their faces, and it's back and forth, cutting quicker,
and then it's over.
and then quick lunge, and then it's over.
The what was it? The illegal Suki maneuver,
Mhm.
Suki move.
And then there's a sequence right after that where this man's like defenders try to take out the samurai, and it's just this long side tracking shot, and it's this long take, and it's so well staged, and they're all like setting up ready to go, and he just like slices and dices them with one slice for each person,
She's
just
like
completely taking them out.
more mildly annoyed than anything else. She's like, "Look what you made me do,"
And like there's certainly some tension as this film grows, and it's like this woman who he raped and then killed her husband, he winds up,
and impregnated.
yes, and he winds up taking her in and then being abusive to her and having this very tenuous relationship and dynamic with, and you see like them getting in confrontations, and
They gave
Mafu,
their baby a terrible haircut.
yes, there was a very
Very
interesting
traditional.
sideburns not attached to the rest of the hair kind of haircut. And then Mifune's not in the film a whole lot, but he's like this veteran presence who this
Mm.
samurai admires his skills and his abilities, but
He's
you have this
pretty.
conflict.
Yeah, he's pretty mature. He just kind of is like, "Yeah, you can't fight him right now. You're not gonna win.
Mhm.
Here's what you should do."
And it gets pretty haunting and intense. I do like Masuru Saito's music. There's certain moments where it's just like it's kind of like sprinkled in
Mm.
certain sounds of instruments
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. It's not like a big bombastic score. It's eerie and brings atmosphere.
It is very ethereal with the wooden flute.
Yes, and this gorgeous black and white cinematography, the use of shadows. It's all goes up to like this last like freeze frame shot of the film, and it's like one of the comment that that critic had made was like, this feels like a freeze frame pause screen for a film that's supposed to come after it that we never get. And I'm just like,
I don't really agree.
this guy's an asshole. Uh but like it's this shocking kind of film that puts you in the driver's seat along with a sociopath, and you're kind of just like along for the ride and waiting to see if him get his just desserts,
Mm.
his comeuppance in this situation.
Lawful evil.
But Jess, do you have anything else that stood out to you about the film that you found interesting or
No, I love a good vengeful yokai. I feel like they fall in the categories of vengeful or an umbrella with a foot.
yeah. And this was not a Kurosawa film, it was not a Kobayashi film, and it was a, kind of put a spotlight on another samurai film director that I want to check out,
Mm.
which I don't really recognize a whole lot of Akamoto's other films here, but he has Samurai Assassin, The Human Bullet. Those sound cool.
They do sound cool. Well, the Sword of Doom sounds really cool too,
Yes, Sword of Doom was like
to be
the
fair.
coolest one. Red Lion, The Age of Assassins, Fort Graveyard.
Ooh.
So,
Spicy.
and it seems like he mostly did samurai films, and this was extremely well directed. Interested to see some of his other films. Would
Interesting too, the guy that was like the samurai will collapse under their own weight like a log sinking. I'm like, is this the end of the Meiji era? I think it's the end of the Meiji era. The answer is yes.
Mhm.
But I just thought that was interesting.
But yeah, so this definitely had a very interesting setting, period, and certainly a protagonist that we had to walk through this story with. Very, let's hang out with a sociopath,
He's a bastard.
like there will be blood. Uh, kind
Well, he's
of
not as funny as Sugar or what's his
Daniel
face?
Plainview.
Yeah,
No, this is like this guy has no personality along with it.
dry.
It's just like you must look at dead stares,
There's
and
like only one guy for comic relief, and boy, do you see him coming.
I'm just like flipping through some of the shots in this, and like this hard as hell shot of him just walking off into
Oh
fog
yeah,
with the whole entire line of dead bodies that he just leaves in his wake.
that scene too where that lady comes up to him and she's like, "There's an ambush. There's like 30 or 40 dudes," and he's like, "Whatever, bro," and just saunters into the forest to kill 30 or 40 dudes.
Which that's the poster,
Yeah, I get
like a
it. I get
modern
why it
poster of
would
the
be.
film. And then just like Mifune here going off to fight in the snow, looking pretty cool,
We do
like a
love
badass.
Mifune in this movie. He's a bit of a high plains drifter type. Just
Mhm.
kind of comes in.
But those are our thoughts on the Sword of Doom. But thank you for listening. Jess, thank you so much for coming on and watching the samurai movie with me.
You're welcome.
And thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What's your favorite samurai film? Have you dove into some of this like era of great Japanese action flicks?
Mm.
If you have, you've probably watched the Akira Kurosawa film, who is absolutely fantastic. Make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. We have so much great content here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network, whether it's movies, television, sports, physical media, comic books, and even, just chatting about life. All kinds of different content. Please make sure to check it out. And if you like your logo, check out High Fly Creative. They do a lot of great work. And if you have any digital brand needs, make sure to check them out. But most importantly, thank you, as always, for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Watchlist here on the SPM Crew Podcasting Network.